When you ask an AI a complex question directly, you'll often get an answer instantly, and it will often be entirely wrong. That happens because large language models are primarily built to predict the next word, not necessarily to reason through the problem first. This chart shows the increase in AI performance discovered by Google Brain researchers in 2022. They found that simply adding the phrase, "let's think step by step" to a prompt increased the AI's accuracy on complex math problems from 17% to 58%. This technique is called chain of thought prompting. Instead of asking the AI for a final result immediately, you instruct it to break the problem down. The AI processes the issue in sequential chunks, handling them one at a time. Think of it like cooking sambar. If you command someone just to cook, the kitchen gets messy. But if you sequence the instructions, first cut vegetables, then grind coconut, and finally heat oil, the recipe succeeds. Chain of thought applies this same discipline to an AI. By mirroring how human beings work through a problem, chain of thought alters the structure of the AI's output from a single guess to a visible sequence. You can see the intermediate steps, making it easier to spot where specific errors occur. Mathematical equations require strict adherence to rules in a specific chronological order. When a standard prompt asks for a final calculation, the AI frequently skips necessary operations in its rush to predict the next word. This tree demonstrates how chain of thought addresses that rush. We start with a shirt priced at 800 rupees. The AI calculates the 25% discount first, subtracting 200. Then it moves to the 18% GST step, adding 108, to arrive at 708 rupees. Chain of thought also untangles relational logic. We have abstract variables. Adavan is older than Bari, while Sauron is younger than Davey. Step-by-step reasoning forces the AI to cross-reference isolated facts, connecting them one by one into a single, correct linear hierarchy. Forcing this sequential processing prevents the model from skipping steps in a rush to predict the final answer. It ensures each part of the problem is addressed before the model commits to a conclusion. There are two ways to trigger this reasoning. The first is zero-shot chain of thought. This is a fast, everyday method. It requires no prior examples. You activate it simply by typing phrases like, "let's think step by step" at the end of your request. Zero-shot works well for general knowledge, but it has limitations. If you ask it to perform highly specialized industry tasks or complex formatting where the AI doesn't know the standard workflow, the model may still produce incorrect logic. This template illustrates the solution: few-shot chain of thought. For niche tasks, you provide 2 to 5 solved examples right inside your prompt. You show a question, outline the exact logic used, and provide the answer. This acts as a reasoning blueprint for the AI. When building these blueprints, avoid providing too many examples, as this can confuse the output. Additionally, ensure your examples are accurate. If you include a mathematical error in your blueprint, the AI will replicate that error in its final response. The rule of thumb here is straightforward. Rely on zero-shot for speed and general problem solving, but utilize few-shot when you need the model to follow a highly specific reasoning structure. This chart shows how to apply this sequence to daily management. Ask an AI to allocate a 50,000 rupee budget for a function, and chain of thought prioritizes sequentially, allocating the main expense for food first, then funds for decor, and finally a portion for emergencies. It also functions as a technical troubleshooting assistant. If a software feature is broken, a step-by-step prompt forces the AI to sequentially isolate the causes, checking server issues, then the browser cache, and then the DNS, rather than suggesting random fixes. There are moments when you should avoid this technique. Imposing strict step-by-step structures is useful for rigid logic, but it can hinder tasks that require fluid creativity, like writing poetry or brainstorming artistic concepts. Finally, manual verification remains necessary. Because chain of thought reveals the steps taken, you can review that roadmap to identify any errors in the logic, rather than relying solely on the final answer.